When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
If a generalized black woman is doing this and being this, that is that is irresponsible.
No,
when you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind
showing
back.
me,
black and proud. Claim your Africanness, black and proud.
I think that if
when you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
a page,
what is the status of people who have FBA?
I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
That's why I was laughing, because
I am claim your Africanness.
I'm not saying the framework doesn't do a thing, but
become a part of it.
We've been
embrace it.
to black men
Become a part of it. Embrace
in
it.
control. We
Become a part of it.
Only
Embrace it.
That those one of the
Become a
best
part
stories
of
I've ever heard.
Embrace it. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind
that
back.
mental growth takes
Black
place.
and
You've
proud.
been
Claim
misled
your
by
Africanness.
leadership,
Black
for
and
instance,
proud.
that
I'm
think
telling
you
you.
can consume.
When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and proud. I'm telling you.
peace and power, family. Dr. Daw back in the building with a special guest, special, unique, gentle brother, Baba. I don't know if I should say gentle or not, but nonetheless, family, like this video up, share this video. Let's get, we're gonna have a special conversation today, family. It's open. We're gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can put the link in the chat, because I've been trying to put some things in there already and it's been kind of rejecting it. It went on that one, not this one over here. But nonetheless, family, join us for this conversation. We have a conversation that says, let's talk FBA and Pan-Africanism, open call in conversation. We got Big Daw. I don't know if he goes by Daw. He goes by All. AW, not Daw, but All. Baba Ausar in the house, the infamous, the one and only All, AW.
All right.
Hold up, Baba, hold up. Let nobody tell you jump in there yet.
All right, go ahead.
Baba Ausar, you might as well just say, just get out the way. He's my daddy. He's my Baba. He's the one who's responsible for all this trouble I bring you. Some of it at least, right? I take some of the blame too. You know what I mean?
I see.
But as I ask Baba, as I ask every guest that comes on, let me say it's an honor. I didn't think he was gonna say yes. You know what I mean? Because sometimes my father can be like, you know what? I ain't got no time for that. He might say it today. He might say it today on the air. I don't know, But let me say this. I really, really think you all are in for a treat. We have a brother who's been doing he's been in this culture thing for a while, but he can throw you a curveball. You know what I mean? And guess what? He and we don't always align on conversation. That's what makes it fun. Back in the day, he used to have something called Third Eye, getting out of the matrix. And then he'll ask me a question back in the day. And I'll be like, well, I don't know if I agree with that, Baba. Then he'll get upset at me. But
never got upset.
He never got upset. Well, look, y'all go back and look at some of them shows, and y'all tell me if y'all think he got upset. But he's a peaceful giant. But anyway, Baba, it ain't your turn yet. It ain't your turn. I know you look. But anyway, look. So Baba, is a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
One, I would say that is a thinker, a challenger, a warrior of warriors, a warrior that trains warriors. A thinker that thinks outside of the box. I mean, so far to the box, sometimes I gotta be like, I don't go that far, Bob. I don't go that far. But anyway, Bob, so we're having a conversation today. Let's talk FBA, a Pan-African open call in conversation. As I ask everybody, what makes you essential to the conversation? In other words, why are you here? Well, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I guess I can say it's still even. I guess
It's still
a little late,
something
evening.
like that.
Yeah. My name is Baba Ausar, as some of you do know. I am responsible for this here. He says. Now he's my son. First of all, I want to say this. I appreciate the work that you've been doing in the community. You've been doing some good work and helping people. You always been helping the community, and give you a little clap for that.
Okay. All right. It feels good.
Yeah. So I'm Baba Ausar.
Yeah.
What you want? I'm from Virginia. I always say that because I'm proud of where I come from. I'm from Mahern, Virginia. Actually, that is the name of a Indian town.
Oh boy.
Well, that's what it is. Look it up. I moved from Mahern, Virginia in '79 and came up Baltimore, and then I raised my family up here in Baltimore, Maryland. My father was a barber, and I also has that trade of being a barber. I like cutting hair. My mother was a mother of 10 children. My father was a father of 21 children. So I'm the last of that, my father's side, my father's 21 child. I teach Tai Chi, I teach meditation.
So my grandfather's back was strong.
Yeah, that's what they say. they always say, they make a joke about it. They say,
oh, really?
Well, yeah, they always say, what other job did he have?
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
he was born in 1884. 1884.
Yes, he was born in 1884. So he was matter of fact, the Levi, I found out lately, the Levi Baptist Church that's in my hometown, his father and his grandfather helped build that from the ground.
Hold up. Since you're getting into this right now, I think, so you said that in Mahern, Virginia, and you can keep telling this, the narrative. I don't want to stop you, but no, I think there's some key points to this conversation. So one, are you saying that your father was a part of that, or your family were the Indians?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that they was down there and they helped build Levi Baptist Church.
No, I just want to be clear.
Clear. Okay.
Because we got this pretending thing going on.
No, they was born in Mahern, Virginia.
Okay, who was born in Mahern, Virginia?
My father, my mother, his grandfather, and they say most likely my grandfather's father was in Africa.
In Africa. Oh, okay. So your father.
Somewhere.
Okay, so your father was born in 18 something.
84.
So 1884. So I think this is key to this conversation. You don't have to even go back far in your own lineage.
Not at all.
To say that your father's parents were probably enslaved. I mean, or maybe not.
Most definitely.
Well, they were living during that time.
Right. Yeah, definitely living through that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But you also say that your father's lineage more than likely goes back to Africa.
Yes.
Did your father tell you, or your mother, that y'all wasn't black, or I mean the word, not to necessarily get caught up on the words of Negro, whatever word y'all used back then, and you can talk about that. But did they tell you that they were indigenous to this land?
Well, my mother used to say that we was from the West Indies. Somehow people was from the
West Indies.
Yeah.
Okay, meaning what? Because we gotta be clear.
I myself, when they say the West Indies, it's so broad, she didn't pick a spot, you know how it was back
But what is the West Indies?
It would be the islands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when she said y'all was from the West Indies, what did you take from that? That y'all was the Tainos?
See, when she told me that at that particular time, I just thought when she said West Indians, I was thinking about the Indians that was out west because I was a child. Right.
But West Indians, as we know, typically today is Caribbean people.
Right.
American dream, what it is. So, and I've heard that story since I was young.
Yeah.
That we've come from the West Indies. And I think when you told me the story the first time, I think I you had already realized they weren't talking about Native Americans or Native the indigenous people.
Yeah, I got over the fact by then.
Yeah. So we started talking about perhaps the high cheekbones and those type of features that you see typically in West Indian people.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, it's a little far back, but that's all right.
You remember that's good. Okay, well, you typically remember all the remember all the things. You know, look. I told y'all my father, right? He's a rebel. But I think he's officially made it to elderhood now, or something like that. What you say? He say
because I calmed down. So.
Yeah, he's real calm over there. Like,
well, it's a time for to be calm, and it's a time to.
Is a time for the calm and a time for the what?
The storm.
For the storm. All right. So we storming tonight then.
Let's do it then.
Hey, we want to talk. We want to see the storm. I mean, look. I said, look, we gonna get them storming tonight. You know what I mean? All right. Peace, JG11. Peace, Mr. K. Now y'all be good in the chat tonight, Mr. K and JG11. Look. Y'all be good in the mic. I mean, y'all be good in the chat. You know. And family, go ahead and like this video, share this video, and look, I put the link in the chat. Make sure that you come in and join this discussion, because we want to talk about all the things. Umar Johnson and his version of FBA. We want to talk about Tariq's critique. You know, we got the whole movie, the FBA documentary that came out. You know what I mean? Or the trailer's out at least. I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. You know, I just be real honest with you. I got some real thoughts about that Umar Johnson interview. But Baba, so continue the story. So just be clear. So you come from a large family. Your father was born in the latter 1800s. Your mother says y'all come from the West Indies, so all right. So what else? I mean, and guess what? If we say if your family said they came from the West Indies, according to FBA logic, there needs to be no genealogical. Well, let me say you don't have to even prove that, because it's just enough that somebody tells you that. But again, let me be clear. Did they ever tell you that you were the American Indian?
No.
Because they said that our people always say we were the American Indian.
No, never told us that.
Your mother was born when? 1917?
Was it 1919.
1919? See? 1919. Your father was born 1884. All right. Okay. All right. So continue.
Well, more about my father's side. Because for some reason they kept more records. My mother's side, I don't have that much on her, but I'm gonna do my DNA test. So that's another story. But they say
that is another story.
Yes, it is. And I know why you say that. I should have had it done. He gave me a test. But anyway, they say that my father was preachers, and my father told me that too. And I was like, okay, so they really going down the right path. He said that his father was a preacher, and his father's father was a preacher. So hence the build of the church, Levi Baptist Church. I can see why they had a hand in it. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so let's move a little bit to the future though.
All right,
let's talk about you. Why are you essential to this conversation? Well, like for you, or is this what you're saying? Like you have some experience, some knowledge. Like what's your positionality? What is it about you that you think is essential to this conversation? Or I mean, like, what about your background? What have you done? What about your identity? You know, all that type of thing.
What have I done? Well, let's go back to when I was just before I was conscious, right? I was doing a lot of other things, but when I became conscious,
what was you doing?
Some things. I was being a young man.
Okay, you was doing things that you might not say everything on the camera.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So then you say you became conscious. What does that mean?
Aware of myself, who I was, and being proud. See, for one thing, let's say this. I was born in a town where there was black and white issues, let's say. We didn't go to the same school. They closed our school. They closed the whole entire Prince Edward down because white folks did not want to go to school with us.
Yeah.
So they say, well, let's just close everything down. Then they made an academy for themselves. But that's when we start going to the little schools at the churches or at homeschooling and stuff like that. Some people, like my sister and my brother, they migrated up to Baltimore. Some people went to Richmond, went to other towns. You see what I'm saying? My town was where I couldn't even try on nobody's shoes. We had to look at the shoe to put the shoe on. So we couldn't try on shoes. That was way back in the time. You understand?
So you saying you grew up during a very segregated time period, especially being in Virginia in a small town, that you could probably take a rock and just throw it through the entire town.
Right.
And then you'd be out of the town.
Right.
So you drive, how fast does it take if you're driving the car to get in the town and out of the town?
2 miles per hour.
2 miles per hour. And how fast at 2 miles per hour would you go from one end of the town to the next?
Y'all in a second.
Y'all in a second.
Yeah.
All right. So so you from the country.
Yeah, I'm from the country. Let's get back to the name again. It's Meherrin, Virginia. You can get back and look this up. And the Meherrin, Virginia was named after the Indians. Now, this is what as a child, we used to pick up arrowheads from the Indian, really arrowheads, rocks.
Okay.
Yeah. We used to pick them up and used to take them to Farmway and sell them. They was all around.
So they had arrowheads, like
the arrowhead rocks, right? I never had the stick, of course, but that's the head of the arrow.
So you saying that's your archaeological evidence?
Well, if you want to put it like that, yeah. but truthfully, yes.
But do you think that was the copper tone black people? The copper tone people look like you, or what do you think?
We looked at them as being different people.
You looked at them as being different people. Your mother never told you that they were the same?
No.
Really?
No.
Hold up. You never had the engine. Hold up. Okay. Now I know my mother's side of the family. We talk about this Indian out family thing, but they never talked about the Indian in the family on your side of the family. Besides the West Indian.
That's what it was.
Okay.
The only one, the West Indians. Yeah.
The West Indians.
Yeah.
Do you think your mother, when she was saying West Indian, that she was thinking Caribbean or she was thinking more like Native American?
Caribbean.
Or Caribbean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she was the one that always said my mother was from the islands.
I think and the reason why I think it's essential to have this because so many people say my mother said that we were the Indians,
right?
And we never was black. And there's these clips going around that's saying that we were the Indians. And I see a lot of people actually out here really doing shows with major numbers. And I'm beginning to believe that a lot of them are disingenuous because even myself, growing up, I've heard the idea that we had Indian in our family, but no one ever was saying it in the way to say that we weren't mostly black. They were saying, no, there was somebody who was in our family, but at the same time, I'm black and I'm proud.
Yeah, we was black.
Now I am older. I'm talking about even my mother's side of the family who more fair skinned, quote unquote.
Right.
They also say they black. They never say, well, we Indian and we're not black. They say we black and we got Indian in our family.
Right. They never said it was Indian.
But now people are saying they didn't took it to another level. They're saying that no, we were the people.
Yeah. Some people, sometimes they want to, I don't know if it's disassociate themselves with being the blackness of themselves or what. I don't know why they would say that. Yeah.
You know why they say that. You taught me all that.
Tell me.
Self-hate is a
self-hate, right? Exactly. Say self-hatred, yes.
Self-hatred is a beep.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you never want to identify with anything Africa. And you know what? To really, in the defense of some of our old people who even thought like that, it was because you think the media is bad on us now. Can you imagine how the media was back then and how they were saying a black person was then? You wouldn't want to be associated with anything they was talking about either like that. And some people got captured in their mind with that brainwashing.
Yeah, you're right. So, bringing back. So you grew up in Virginia, in the most rural of rural areas. I mean, you knew everything from farming to pigs to peach orchards to your father owned the barber shop. He was one of the men. He was a man in the town.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was also a deacon.
Head deacon.
I mean, and when you see his features, they're definitely African.
Oh, most definitely.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So now going through that, you went through a process. You went to your Detroit Red phase. It sounded like a little bit, maybe not as much, but maybe I don't know all the stories. But
put it like this: we had in my time, we had a down the bottom gang. Shout out to everybody down farm with down the bottom gang. Brother Tiller. It's not a lot of us now. Brother George, you know what I'm saying? We still hang out. Brother Libby, shout out to you, Libby. We so it's a few. So it was a gang. Yeah. But it was a gang of young men, not going out doing, well, maybe not too much stuff. Yeah, but some stuff. As white folks always say, they teenagers.
They teenagers.
Yeah, anytime a young white child would do something wrong, they give them that pass of growing up through, they only teenagers. They're gonna be better. So we don't get that. Yes. We don't get that one.
So okay, you come from the hardcore streets of Mahern, Virginia.
Right.
I mean, well, the hardcore country dirt roads of Mahern, Virginia.
And it was only hardcore because of segregation. Because I that was really like, as you would say, trauma in my life.
You said the KKK man was the one at the store, the one you had to buy stuff
all
from.
the stores in Mahern was owned by KKKs, and we knew it. But see, they wasn't the KKK like of hatred. They would, to me, they
hold up. They wasn't the KKK of hatred.
Let me show you what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah, because you got some KKK that want to burn the cross. They will call you niggas. And can I say that on here?
I don't know, Bob. I mean, the algorithm. Look, we already struggling with the algorithm. You know what I mean?
So they call you the N-word. And I never understood the N-word, because somebody called me the N-word. It's still the same. They're going to get the same thing coming.
But you know what? Sometimes the algorithm, as long as we tame each other down, they don't have a problem with that. You probably can say the N-word, but if you say what they now people saying YT, why they say YT instead of saying white, because they don't want it to mess up the algorithm. But I bet you can say all types of things about black people. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, no, because that was just proven the other day. They had, what you call the people that shout out, it was Trex or something like that. They be talking and they shout out some words and stuff.
Tourette's.
Tourette's, right? So the other night on the show, they shouted out the N-word.
Oh, somebody did.
Yes, I
saw that, little bit of that.
Yeah. So and they was just, but they, as they say, they cut out everything else, but they didn't cut that out. So they wanted them to hear that.
They wanted to be okay. They wanted that to make it to the air.
To the air.
All right. So how did you go from? I mean, Deacon's son. Okay, the KKK town. Did you want to say something about that KKK town? Something else?
No. Well, what I was saying to make it plain, when I was saying they was just in a group. They wanted to belong to a group.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to belong.
Yeah, to me, I think it was like they just, okay, yeah, I'm part of this group, because they didn't show any part of that hatred towards me.
Oh, you never experienced it? You never felt
not
it?
Towards them. Well, yes. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. You know what? I had to retract.
Because I mean, you seem to have a lot of rage about white people when it came to me.
But no. Check this out. I ain't say I wasn't mad at them.
Okay, well, why was you mad at them? If they treated you so well?
No. Because to a certain degree, no, they was racist in their own way. You know what I'm saying? Now, then, yeah. we couldn't try on nobody's shoes. We go in there, they look at the shoe, even in Mr. G.
So they discriminated against you.
Yes.
But you didn't see any like you hadn't experienced any cross burning, people lynching, none of that.
No.
Okay.
Not in my town. Anyway.
Y'all kept them in business.
Yeah.
I forgot the movie where the guy, where he was buying all his gunpowder. And it was Denzel. I can't remember what it was. But nonetheless, and I'm not good with movies. You better with me with movies. Wait, Denzel, was it Denzel?
Don't stop me the line.
Okay, don't get look. All right, he's officially an elder, y'all. He know all the middle. He's officially an elder. So okay. So you went through that experience. You schools was closed down through your segregation. Where Virginia said, "Look, check this out. We're not going to integrate. We are not going to integrate. Before we integrate, we will close this MFer down."
And they did.
And they closed the schools down.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Like I say, some people migrated different places to get education. Some churches opened the schools up. They had little schools on the side of the church. And, we do it like we always do. We bounce back and do what we're supposed to do.
So there's this group called FBA.
Yes.
Foundational Black American. Back in those days when you were growing up, and maybe your mother in them days, if you could recall some of the things they taught, do you think they would have called themselves Foundational Black Americans? Because they're saying we've always been these foundational Black Americans.
No, that terminology, do I think they would have said they were?
Yeah, your mother would say, "I'm a foundational Black American."
No, especially my mother. No, no.
Why not?
Because she always said they was from the Caribbean. She always said that. Now my father, he would say, "Yeah, we was born here."
Would they use the word black? I'm asking.
Would they use the word black?
That's what I'm really asking.
Well, we went through the phases,
Well, I'm talking about your mother now. Early on, and you can talk
early on. No, black was taboo.
Taboo.
Yes,
because what they're saying, we was always black.
Nah,
and we accepted black.
Black was a cussing word.
Black was a cursing word.
Right.
Oh,
you call me black, we fight.
You fighting? You too during your time?
Not really my time, but it's according to how you said that blackness. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
you black MFer. Oh, MFer, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But black was taboo. Tell me more about that.
Well, in my mother's time, no black then was. But see, even in our time, black was taboo until so-called when we started raising our fists up and saying we were black and we proud. Until then, that moment, no, black was taboo. So we changed the word of black, and made it like we changed the word of, I guess, the young children now of the N word. I must say.
Okay, so y'all flipped it.
Yes,
but so black. So when you hear this idea of people saying that we've always called ourselves black, and Black Americans are the only black people whose ancestry came through chattel enslavement in the USA. We understand the USA wasn't a thing then. Right. But what we call the USA now, the colonies and all, they are only people that can be considered black. What do you say to that? That everybody else isn't black. Like Africans aren't black, Caribbeans aren't black.
I'm Pan-Africanist.
You are?
in a sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what does that mean?
That means that I believe that all over the diaspora that we are all one people.
All one people.
Yeah. One. Yeah.
All right. I see we got a guest, Sylvester, in the house. We'll bring you on. If you want to come up on the screen, I'm gonna need you to do something with that camera. Other than that, I'm gonna keep you on audio.
How's the screen?
Because you got the wobbly going and wobbly, wobbly. Hey, Sylvester, I want to say, Sylvester, I can't hear you yet, man, but I see you talking, you smiling too, so I feel you're making me feel safe a little bit. Don't get on this other side of this camera and disappoint me now, Sylvester. Hey, you look like you from that brother who called me from California a few weeks ago and told me about all his degrees. Now look now. Hey, y'all remember? He's like, I got all the degrees. But so Baba.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to get back to this point though. Like, and we're going. So now, country boy,
Right.
you move to the big city.
Right.
You go through all that process.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, and then somewhere along the line, you want to put on dashikis and stuff. Tell me more about that quickly, and then we're gonna let the family come in and have the chit chat.
So,
Sylvester then left. Oh, Sylvester, what happened, man? All right, go ahead.
Maybe you got to come back on
Mhm.
because it's screen. Well, like kind of sort of all things supposed to happen like they're supposed to happen to me in a way. You see, so I met a person named Joe Koger, and working at Westinghouse. So
Mhm.
when I met Joe, Joe was a good brother, always was a good brother. Peace be upon him.
Mhm.
I went to use his phone one day to call your mother, let her know that
Mhm.
I would be home later because we didn't have cell phones
Mhm.
then. And I seen his library in the back that he had.
Mhm.
And so from there, I started reading some books.
Mhm.
And Dr. Ben was one of my main historians.
Dr.
during
Ben?
that- Dr. Ben.
You think we
Johanna.
can we call his name during Black History Month? Because it's still February.
Yeah.
And I was told that we should not be including people who aren't from America in Black History Month.
That's just nonsense. Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So Dr. Ben was one of your main teachers.
Yeah, most definitely. Dr. Ben, really spiritual wise. You
Mhm.
see, because I was on a spiritual quest.
Oh, spiritual quest.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a while.
So
because
Dr. Ben, the atheist, was a spiritual part of your journey.
to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Because the part about that was that the book that he had wrote, African Contributions to Western Religions. And that was the book that was in then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Mm.
And the fact that we can acknowledge one's, whether or not they use the term, that spiritual insight
Mm-hmm.
or whatever you want to call it from someone. You don't have to identify with a theistic type of idea or ideology to still be considered spiritual.
Right. And then of course the book of the coming forth by light and day.
Mhm.
Some call the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Mhm.
And then I found out why it was coming easy to me
Mhm.
because it was like part of me. Like I say, my father was a deacon, so
Mhm.
yes, church was the main thing. And sometimes when we leaving, leaving religion, let's say, but always is going to be there because if I stomp my foot, I'm gonna say over Jesus. That's the way it's going to be because I've did it so long. I have done it so long, but that's in my psyche. But I do know better now because the simple fact is, when I was on my journey of looking for God, that's what I said. I'm going in search of God, and so how I started reading all the books around the world, Tibet, you understand, in China, all around the book, because if I got to search for this guy called God, I got to see what other people say about him too. You see, so I went everywhere I could go in search of God. Read all the books I could read.
Did you find him?
Yes.
Okay, tell me more about that.
The one I found?
Is it him, her? How you?
Now, see, you know what? I would never call God a he or her because let's do this. You asked me that I found him. Let me go back to that. Yeah, I found God in every religion I went to because if they believed in him, they had their God. So I found their God, not the God.
Yeah, so they're getting busy in the chat room. So so you say a God, not the God?
I found their God.
Their God.
In each belief system, they have a God.
Okay. And what did you find?
Their God. It didn't become mine.
Did you find yours?
Yes. But I don't deal with the word God, what I call mine.
What do you call yours?
The best I can come up with is the universal mother and father.
So it's a universal mother and father.
Yes.
I thought
it had to be two because it had to be yin and yang. So nothing is made by anything singular.
So it's universal mother, father.
To me. Yeah. The universal mother, which is female energy.
They have a name?
If man give no, they don't have a name. I was gonna go into some joking. No, they don't.
I'm trying. Okay, cool. So let's do this. So all right. So basically, coming from Maharan, Virginia, you know, your mother and father never told you that you were native, although there were some natives in the actual town that you grew from. I mean,
Yes.
you grew up in. They actually had arrowheads that proved that there was some level of native activity. There's also historical record that also supports that the Maharan Virginian, the Maharan
tribe is named after the town.
The town was named after the tribe.
Yes.
And then you also have you went through the whole idea of segregation. The Virginia government shut down the schools, all that type of thing. Your family migrated. Many of your sisters and brothers migrated up to Baltimore. You migrated as well. You know, you somewhere along the line picked up my mama and her fine self.
In Virginia, she came to me. She left Baltimore and came down. See, her mother. Well, a little bit about her mother. Her mother and her father was up in Baltimore. Waverly Johnson was working at Spurs Point. Then he passed away, and by my mother's mother had 16 children. So she felt as though her husband had left her, so she wanted to migrate to a quieter, safer place to raise her children, which was down in Lunenburg, Virginia. Much respect to my mama. Now, Mom, look, I hope my father show you this because I know how you say he don't show you nothing. I try to make it watch it night. She said she'll go watch it later on. Okay. We love you. I mean, at least I love you. I think he loves you. He's been with you for 50, how many years? 52 years. And we're going to talk about the Tai Chi and the karate and the martial arts and the meditation and the guru that you are as well. Family in Baltimore, TNAT Holistic Wellness Center, all that type of thing. You know, make sure you check Bob out. He is a sage. Look, he said, you know, he doesn't call himself a master, but I'm going to say he's a master of various forms of martial art. He can say no all he wants. You know, I'll say it for him. Yeah. I say he's a student. And I would argue that I get when I'm into a thing, my intuitiveness and intuitiveness. Maybe I get my intuitiveness from him and my intuitiveness from my mother. Or maybe both. Nonetheless, but nonetheless, let's bring in Sylvester. He's been here. Oh, Sylvester ain't here no more. But Sylvester, come back in. I was trying to get you on, Sylvester, man. Look, all right. So, but we do have the one and the only. Oh boy, we have the one and the only proper perspective in the building. Perspective, that's it. I'm gonna add him to the stage on all.
So what?
Hold up. I think I heard something I wasn't supposed to hear, but let me try that again.
We're coming over.
All right, let's try it again. Hold on. Oh, I see it. I think that's what it was. Prop up. What it is, B?
Peace.
Are you there?
Peace. I'm here.
All right. You good? I don't know if it's low on our end or low on your end.
No, it's low on my end. I'm under the weather, so I'm just laying in the
man. Yeah,
you sound like you got the snotty nose.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we turned the volume up in here. We appreciate you calling through the weather.
Thank you.
He's a true boy, y'all. So,
Word.
Yeah. If you wanna. You got anything? So we talked about. So Baba just gave the lay down, but we got this conversation going on. Let's talk FBA, Pan-African Open Call and Conversation. Brother Proper, Baba Ausar, my man Kevin, Mr. K says the Pan-African Terminator is in the house, meaning proper perspective. That was his thing though, like. There's this thing that my dear brother, I will say JG, I think is a brother. I know JG, you're a brother. You know, I don't want to misidentify you, but he says that he's talking about this Haitian thing going on, man. I don't know how many times I can speak to this idea that one video is not enough.
No.
I mean, and in fact, I don't care if it was 100% of the videos. It just shows you if all Haitians hated Black Americans, let's say that. If all Haitians called Black Americans dirty African Americans or dirty whatever she called the people,
Right.
you like let me be clear.
Oh, that one woman.
The one woman, like I could like the reality is, can I even take her serious? Honestly, or what she said was algorithmically friendly. I mean, even if she believed it, like so what? And guess let's say 100% of Haitians thought that. Does that mean I can't identify that they're, if all of them was that way, that they're sick? You have a whole population. We understand how Dominicans have lost. Many of Dominicans are lost. Yeah. We understand how many of us are lost. So why does one video get you all up, your panties all up in a bunch?
Exactly.
You understand? So the other thing is this. Like I told you, I have a sister-in-law that's from Haiti. I know she ain't talking like that. So I'm saying, like, I can show you an example. You can show me an example. When did we grow up and realize that people say stupid stuff and ignorant stuff about each other?
And in all races of people.
And so, JG, you want, like, JG, I'm JG. I'm definitely looking like I want more from you, brother. I'm assuming, brother, I don't know if you corrected me as of yet, but I'm looking for more than that from you. Because, you know, you told me, you know, that I've help you in a way, but you showed me one video. But I've also shown you data that supports that those from the Caribbean have greater levels of solidarity in our direction than we do in their direction. I've also shown you that people, as they come here and stay here for a period of time, that they're for the most part, their sentiments change. But 3, there's always going to be a fool. Let's keep that real. You expect there to be no fools in the world? Exactly. If you expect there to be no fools in the world, I have to ask the question, who is the goddamn fool? Pardon, Baba.
That's all right. That's a good word for
it. What you got, Baba? What you gonna say here? Now, because I know you've been going down a rabbit hole. I mean, you've been studying. I know. Again, I don't have what did I call it earlier? To do itness or something. Yeah. But anyway,
I don't know. Go ahead.
Something into do itness. Like you definitely have sent me some videos and have been exploring it. So I don't know where to go because you sent me both sides to the argument.
I was. Yeah, that's all I was doing.
You sent me both sides.
I was showing you how people think on one side and the other side, and what they really, really believe. Some people really believe that nonsense.
Right.
That's what I was showing you.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is, which I don't even know if I have the energy, and I appreciate it, like the energy to do the thing that you've done. Go and look up both sides. But you also show me clips where there's people from the Caribbean or specifically Africa who say some wild things out of their mouths, and then there's another African on the panel who's saying, but just challenging the very African person that's saying these wild things.
You talking about the what's that guy name?
I don't know people's name.
Me neither.
So we both don't know their names.
I don't put them up there. Yeah, I don't need them.
But there's one African saying all these wild things about African Americans, this, that, da. And the other one's like, look.
And he have a nerd to call himself a professor or some type of thing.
Yeah, but the reality is there would not the same people in the call will highlight the one African who is actually saying the negative things, but they won't highlight there's another African on the very call with them that's supporting and saying defending African Americans for all that we've done. We will put more. It's kind of like when you get an evaluation at work, and then the evaluator, typically your supervisor or what have you, would say something like, well, you did all this stuff great. I mean, you did all these things great. I mean, like you knocked it out of the park, but they said there's one little piece here I want you to prove upon. Now you skip over all the positive things this supervisor shared with you. And the only thing they said, well, look, I would like you to be a little bit more social. Just one thing. And now you lose your damn mind. because you hyper focus on the one thing and overlook all the millions of things. I'm saying millions, all the other things that they said that were positive.
But they always have an old saying that a lie will go around the world 5 or 6 times before the truth will go around once.
Yeah. The lie will go around the world. Say that one more time, out.
5 or 6 times before the truth will go around once.
Before the truth will go around once.
So that's what we're dealing with now.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Family, make sure you join in on the show. We want you to come in. Let's have this talk. What y'all think about Umar? Brother Shabazz, what's your thought about this Umar thing, man? Umar coming out with the what is it? FAFA? What's the name of his joint?
What did he say? DAFA, Descendants
DAFA.
African. I mean, he trying. You know, it's. I've always had a complicated view on Dr. Umar. I wish he never would have tried to open the school, because that's what sank a lot of his credibility. And then with the more recent stuff, going down with some family squabbles, that really, I think that tanked it for even most of them.
So you think the school tanked his credibility?
I think the inability to actually get it done. I think before that. Now again, for
come on,
me,
cuz come on, and
you hurt my feeling now, man. You hurt my feeling, cuz.
Hold on. I always looked at Dr. Umar as a mouthpiece. I never looked at him as anything other than a mouthpiece.
Okay.
So
yeah, a good mouthpiece.
And so
I don't
especially
think that, though. I think that's what got him in trouble.
His mouth?
No, I think the ego got him in trouble.
His ego is expressed through his mouthpiece.
Yeah, but like from what I see,
so
and let me say this, especially down here in Virginia, you don't get a lot of front street, in your face, pro-black, African-centered, anything. So you flip on the YouTube and you see somebody saying stuff that the way he says it, you don't get that down here.
You want to tell you what it is?
When I talk like that, people look at me like I'm crazy. People look at me like I am filled with hate. People look at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. And so I'm like, well, in social media spaces, for one, and in the classrooms that I did work in, most of my students were not even familiar with anything Afrocentric, anything pro-black. So if I'm in a classroom and a student comes in and said, I watched this video clip with Dr. Umar, and he says blah, 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 and he's talking about Ifa, the religion. I didn't even know black people had religion before Jesus Christ. I'm like, yo, I'm glad you watched. I'm glad you listened to Dr. Umar, because otherwise you would still be thinking Jesus was the best thing since sliced bread. You would still be thinking Christianity is the only way.
Brother.
And so that's how I looked at it. Now, look at
it now? Let's talk about how you look at it now, though. How you look at it?
Like I said, for a very long time, when he first started, when he first announced the school, I was like, okay, I'm with you. I actually tried to reach out, because I
know
was like,
it was stupid from the beginning.
I was like, that's a school I would want to teach at. I was just like, that's a school I want to teach at. And so when I tried to reach out and I didn't get, anything along the lines of a serious response, I was just like, okay, red flag.
But see,
I fell back. And as the years just went on and the excuses just kept chiming out, I was just like, I know what this is.
Right.
So, but
you had to be knocked in the head.
So say it.
But a lot of people are.
Hold on. Let listen to your uncle. What did he say? Hold up. Let's say it again.
You had to be really knocked in the head to understand what was going on. To me, Omar always been a car salesman. You understand what I'm saying? And he's good with his words. Anybody that can talk that fast and then at the same time, not even talking that fast, but saying his leanings go back to Marcus Garvey and he putting himself way up here.
Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Then he said something about Pan-African. Not Marcus Garvey somewhere in there.
Yeah, Marcus Garvey. He
attached himself.
He's a guy. And so but he always sound like a car salesman to me because he's
always sound like a car salesman to me as well.
Yeah, I mean because he oh wow. I don't know if I can say this.
You don't know if you can say it?
Well, me and his father used to talk.
Yeah, I've talked to him as well.
Yeah, and he was talking to me about it. I mean, he was talking about Umar.
Ain't nothing you can't say about Jamal Shoemaker. What's his name? Jamal whatever his father name, Jamal.
Okay,
that the world doesn't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. okay. and he actually wanted me to kind of spearhead his son. Right. Right.
So he said, because he was asking the question, where's the conscious community at? He was calling us
help
when we used to do the show back in the day. You did Third Eye Get Out of the Matrix, and we was doing I forgot
business something.
It was the Conscious Black Business Network, but we had a different show. I forgot what we used to call it, but yeah.
Yeah, he actually called me, and tried to get me
he said Umar ain't that person. He ain't that. His father used to be like, he ain't that person. He not that. He not a G. He's But what I want to get to is the part that hurts me is that we give people passes because we often like Umar's like we go from one preacher. We want to put down the Christian preacher, but we pick up something that's just as bad.
Conscious preacher, supposedly.
And so I like the way he says words. That's what people say all the time. I like the way he says words. To me, that is a red flag.
That's real though.
Like he say stuff like that, and to me, I'm like, when are we gonna get up? When are we gonna realize that? Like, even I like the way, like people I've actually got in a debate. A brother said, "Well, Umar got all the children screaming, and that other Pan-African people are jealous of him because he got the whole community saying Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never."
See, they made a song about that. It's called
they did.
Sweet Nothingness in my ear.
Like, just lay over and let me
just say any daggone thing.
Say anything.
Whisper sweet nothingness. And that's what a lot of us just want to hear something sweet, taste something sweet. You know what I'm saying? Instead of hearing the bitter truth about subjects.
Yeah, so we got this whole family. Go ahead, like this video, share this video. We getting it started. So DAFA, Dr. Umar Johnson, like I'm not gonna lie, that interview, I see how he can be he can pull you in, brother, because I don't listen to what you say.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying,
the other day he was doing good.
His wordsmithery is phenomenal.
That's what I don't like.
But what I'm gonna say is
that I like.
See, what I'm gonna say is, go ahead. No, what this is all I'm gonna say. When you dealing with people, I mean, the vast majority of our people are in the triple stages of darkness. When you're dealing with people that are that unaware of so much stuff and so much information, Dr. Umar will wake somebody up. Now, shame on you if you remain under the spell.
It ain't no shame on you, brother.
It is. I mean, we all have to wake up. We all have to.
You never woke them up. What you did was they became addicted to this personality.
Right. It wasn't a culture. It's him.
So the thing is, it's kind of like telling somebody who's been a person who's in an abusive relationship, who wakes you up with all that grandiose ideas on an individual level, that now shame on her or shame on him, but specifically shame on her for falling for this abusive partner.
He became part of the cult.
Absolutely.
Well, again, I think that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is,
but that's okay though.
There is information that comes out of his mouth that has woke some people up. It's on the individual.
He ain't say nothing to wake nobody up. What did he say? Tell me what Umar says.
I'm telling you, I've had students
No. What
come to
has
me
he?
telling
Tell
me.
me Tell me exactly what he has said that has woken somebody up. Now, this interview the other day, I thought was pretty cool. Now, but for the most part, Umar from back in the day, he said a lot of stuff that is not credible, and I've been saying that for years.
Listen, I'm not. I'm not honestly trying to defend him. What I'm saying is,
No. What has he said though that's waking people up?
What I'm saying is, if I have had
education
tell me, I have had students tell me that they listen to some of the videos or interviews or what have you from him, and they've told me because of that, that's how they got into certain elements. So if I got a student that tells me they're now looking into Ifa as a traditional African spiritual tradition because they heard what he was doing with it, or as a priest, or they heard one of the speeches that he gave about Obatala and so on and so forth, I'm like, well, then that served a spark that I couldn't spark that student. I like when I'm introducing these concepts in the classroom, they're just writing down notes and listening to so that they can regurgitate it back on the test. They're not like, oh, I wonder if I should look into that. But when they heard him say it, they was like, oh, so there really is, there's real life people that do this. I'm gonna go look. Okay, I'm not mad at you. I'm like, however he said it, he sparked something in you. Now you get to go run with it again. Now, if you start saying, well, now I'm gonna send him money for the school, and now I'm gonna send him money for the HVAC, and now I'm gonna send him, that's your mistake.
But that's the problem, though, because it's not the information. That is what you're missing. What got them
is the information is what got them.
No, the you said the way he says it, the way that he says it, that is what you said. Not what he said, because you could say the same damn thing. It's how he said it. That is what got them, is what you're saying. Now, if you say something different, because Umar can come on that flat and monotone, if you come on that flat and monotone, then and he said the same information that you said, or just the same information, and it didn't catch them, then I would agree with you. But the fact that you're saying how he says it is what catches them is problematic.
Well, I would just say this. All throughout history.
He's saying, I'm gonna give you a pass because you low under the weather.
No, look, all throughout history, orators have had an impact.
They have organizers Mussolini. We've always fallen towards Jim Jones. Yeah, I get it.
But Malcolm X was an orator. In his day, Elijah Muhammad was an orator until a certain age.
You keep going down the list. I might have some questions to ask about some of these people.
I got questions for almost. I'm not saying I'm not. There isn't anybody. Like, even if we can go to the brother that just passed. Jesse Jackson was a great orator. There are things that, as an orator, he has said and done that has impacted
the
people in the community in a good way. There are things that they have done that have done the negative.
The problem is this. Let's get back to the point. It's not what he said. It's what you say. It's how he said it. You can't be saying two things. You can't be saying two things at the same time.
It's always how you say it. It's
not always how you say it. It's not always how you say it. Because my argument here is not that. My argument is that you are now holding people responsible who got who become mesmerized by the way he says something and says, if you stay there, that's your fault, stupid. And I'm saying that is what got them there. I would not call them people stupid. I would call them tricked.
Right. Say, for instance, you said you even sent some money in, true?
No, not me. I said I was giving an example. I was giving an example. If you accredit, because I know people that accredit Dr. Umar to their personal wake-up story.
Yeah, so but
if you woke up to Dr. Umar because he gave a speech about Ifa, or he gave a speech about the president, or what have you.
About no Umar, for real.
Yeah.
Let's keep that.
But see, the thing about it is this: that brother probably was already on the track of looking for Ifa itself, some kind of way, because that's just one brother out of 1,000. But the ones that he really hurt is the ones. Now he probably was looking for something anyway. You know what I'm saying? And Omar just said something that, I mean, they say a broken clock is right twice a day. So Omar hit a point somewhere.
His interview the other day was not a great oratory presentation, but I would say for even someone like me, it was very compelling.
Okay, but just pause. Just pause with that right there, though. Even for someone with you and all your knowledge and your understanding of the whole framework, if you can say that the interview was what was your word? You said compelling. So if you can admit that part of his presentation was compelling, and you stand very high on the ladder of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And we got people that's very low on the ladder of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. If it's compelling for you, if you can see how it can be compelling, all I'm saying is there are people who will see that same information, see that same videoed interview, and they will say,
up right now. Keep
okay, that's fine. They're saying that when they hear him, they are compelled. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying anybody can wake you up.
Well, that's the problem. I don't think they were awakened. You're saying that's the core issue here, is that you're saying that he woke them up and they're foolish if they stay there.
Yeah, that is technically what I'm saying.
Huh?
I am saying that. I disagree that he didn't wake him up, because I'll say this.
No, it's a difference between waking somebody up and putting them under a spell. Umar does not have enough factual information to really say nobody in their right mind could literally say, Umar says, let me back that up. Nobody who is a critical thinker could literally listen to Umar and say that he said enough things that were truthful and factual to wake him up. Umar has said too many things that are incorrect, too many times that is wrong, and it's too inaccurate in his description, is inaccurate historically, is inaccurate clinically, is inaccurate on so many levels. So there's no waking up there. There is some truth sprinkled over a bunch of falsehood. So there's you say so people like that's not Malcolm X though. That's a very different person. And even Elijah Muhammad, he's not an orator. You said orator. He's not an orator, but Malcolm X was. But he also, if you checked him, you will see that his information was accurate. Right. And I'm not saying always. And you could see that he lived by what he stood on.
And he wasn't selfish.
He wasn't trying to manipulate and wake people up and put them in these trances. Malcolm X literally woke you up. Umar puts you in a trance like Jim Jones. And there's a difference.
Big difference.
Tariq Nasheed does not wake people up. He puts them into trances like Jim Jones.
You're right.
You have too many people walking around this internet who parrot Tariq Nasheed. But I will say, now the compelling part to me about Umar is the other day on that interview with the brother, he was grounded. He said a lot of things that was really like that was accurate, and some things that was not accurate. You know, I mean, that was debatable, that I don't think people really debated. I'm not going to give them any weapons. But what I will say is Umar, and I can't even look at most of Umar's stuff when he's doing all of that, what we call charisma. But the other day, now a person like me could say, damn, Umar doing a good job here right now. But at the same time, in my right mind, because as you said, I'm a person with those words you said, I'll take that as a compliment. But I have enough discipline to pull back and say, you know what? It'll be really good to have Umar on this side of the fight. But I realize that's also the setup. Umar ain't worried about no FAFA, whatever. What is it called? Hold on. Umar is not worried about no DAFA. DAFA, he said it. I like it. He said, I'm going to start a counter movement called DAFA. DAFA.
So what is that?
What he said, the Senate of African Freedmen in
America, something like that.
Umar hasn't started he hasn't started with any and having great follow through with anything that he has started. And now he's starting something new. Mm-hmm. But it's very compelling to someone. I'm talking about even myself. So again, when you say I have this level of understanding, if it's compelling to me, just imagine someone else who doesn't have the same level of critical and analytical skills that I have and how they can get scooped up in the mess. My only point is I cannot hold responsible people responsible who have been put under a spell, a traumatized community. I want to help them wake up, but at the same time, this fool who's sick himself, my dear, and he's my brother. He's my brother. Tariq Nasheed is look, it's easier for me to say Tariq Umar's my brother. It's something about Tariq Nasheed I have to say.
Well, we'll agree with that.
It's almost hard to say it, though he's
just a better car salesman.
No, he's way better than Umar.
Right? Yeah.
He ain't the most charismatic person either.
But people kind of like him.
He's because he's vile.
Yeah.
And he's very, and he doesn't. You don't have to grow far to reach where Tariq is. You can still be a Negro and do what Tariq does. You can still talk about people. Tariq in black spaces created puppets called Crispy, and that was okay. Yeah, teasing someone's hue for being a dark-skinned person, whether or not you agree with him or not. But again, Tariq in his mastery, which is so masterful, even more so than Umar's, is that he talks this FBA stuff. He said, well, hey, family, so, we know that it ain't no leader. We know ain't no leader, a family, you understand? They talking about, hey, family, ain't no leader. I'm not your leader, and nobody's your leader. There ain't nobody can't be no leader, no lineage. Like, who told you there's no leaders and lineages, if you want to use it that way? I mean, what sense does that make? That there's no leader in lineage? Like, let's really, even if the word really, he was using it correctly, you telling me there's no leaders they are race leaders. And there's sometimes there's one leader over all the leaders. So I mean, it makes no sense.
There always have been leaders.
And
had to be.
So what I'm saying is the stuff he said is so and he said, and then he conflates and anachronistically take this term FBA back to people. That's why I was asking the questions earlier, Baba, about grandma and grandpa and so forth, because he is utilizing it in a very skilled, manipulative way, and I see why people follow him, and I see why people adopt this FBA. Because first of all, I think he did a lot better job at branding. Foundational Black America just rings. It rings. Like if he didn't create it, I could see myself calling myself a Foundational Black American. And I can see how some people still don't agree with him in all the other things, but it still rings well. What I mean by ring, it just makes sense. That what's the problem with us calling ourselves Foundational Black Americans, just meaning that we are the Africans, or no, they don't like the word African, American Black people whose ancestry came through chattel enslavement in this country.
Right.
Like that is the state is very clear. It's not like ADOS, American descendant of slavery. That doesn't really ring. Even DAFA doesn't really ring. Like the descendant of African freedmen in America. But foundational Black American, without even saying or explaining it, it explains itself. A foundational Black American. Now, I'm not saying people won't need some level of explanation, but family, make sure y'all come in and look. My cousin, my Professor Jabez is like, look, he taking the gloves off today because he's sick. All right, I'm tired of you, brother. Look, we're gonna fight this one out about this Umar one. Look, he know he
No.
Tariq Nasheed is a whole nother level of charlatan. Umar be tripping up. Tariq Nasheed, and some people tell me, some of my close comrades say that he ain't doing all this by himself.
Right. He's a sniper.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. He's a good sniper. Well, what's your guy name, nephew?
Who? Which one?
The one we talking
about? Umar.
Umar, yeah. Umar's not a sniper like him.
Nah, I mean, I honestly think Tariq is being supported by the COINTELPRO folk. I know that, you know, people give me pushback when I say it, and I'm like, I know and understand.
You talking about the enemy, huh?
Yeah, I know that they supposedly shut down the program on Front Street, but I know that this government keeps a whole lot of stuff on the back burner and behind closed doors. And I really do think that there is some serious COINTELPRO energy behind Tariq Nasheed. But I know I can't prove that. So,
well,
and I don't think Umar was ever selected that way. Like,
so Mr. K says, if anything, Umar Johnson is the Creflo Dollar of Pan-Africanism. And our people are lost there. See, we have to do as Dr. Amos Wilson spoke about. Because I'm going to argue, me and you can have this conversation another time too. See, our taste buds. See, we think that somehow wicked people are going to wake people up and they're not going to have some level of loyalty towards them. That is not even humanly or developmentally conceptually I'm looking for the last word. Developmentally, conceptually, a reasonable thought.
See, when a person tries to push yourself up, I always look at it like, say, for instance, one of my greatest heroes is Castro. Because I liked how Castro handled himself with his people. He put his people first before he put himself. Now, one thing about Castro that I liked about him was this. You don't see no picture, well, you see pictures now around Castro, but during his time, when he was in power, he didn't do that kind of stuff. He put his, matter of fact, when he did the revolution on Cuba and took it back, the first person, when he was distributing land back, the first person he took land from was his mother, and made sure that it was equally divided among the people. You understand what I'm saying? So he's not a selfish person. He's not looking for that self pat on the back like a lot of these young men I see now that's coming out, the ones y'all was talking about. Now, I don't even spend my time listening to Omar, or even, I didn't know he did a speech the other day, or even Tariq. I don't spend my time on them at all.
Yeah.
See, they never even got my interest to even try to look at them or waking anything up.
Absolutely. Because it's not like we got to have all parts. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, like, to pull out a Malcolm X, he had both parts. He was honest and also a great orator.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's different.
And then you could see yourself, even me, when I was with Malcolm, and I must say, I said Dr. Ben, but Malcolm, I'm a child Malcolm with his energy. You understand? With his fight. You know, that's me right there. That's the part that I gravitated towards, because even when I seen slave slaves acting like slaves in my time, because that's what they showed you. Slaves being humble, yassa bars, master, and all that kind of stuff. I always look for those people that didn't like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I finally found them, in Harriet Tubman, etc. Like that. I was looking for those type of people, the revolutionary people,
Mhm.
and it's not one revolutionary that I like that is selfish.
Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. So it has to be a full developmental thing.
Right.
I often hear
Stephen Biko.
Yeah, Stephen Biko. It's got to be balanced. Like,
Yeah.
and so I could never, ever, from a psychological perspective, really say that it's your fault if you stay with them, because there's a certain psychological dynamics that are going on. And there's a loyalty factor. If you woke me up and I thought I was dead, sleepwalking around, it becomes so much more difficult to see the flaws, and me even more so the fraudulent behaviors that you act out. In fact, good manipulators have you believing that you are the problem.
Right.
And that's a whole psychological mind FUCK. And that is what people do in abusive relationships. That is what people do in small cults. That is what Trump has done to these people who aren't getting anything, but they voted for him and they still would die for him.
Right.
So that's not really taking into consideration human nature and psychology.
And by him putting in a little being blackness, touching you some kind
emotional
of
strings.
Yeah, right. So you're like, oh, that's my man. He's against this and that. Nah, that's
because he's going to save the day. They say the best cult leaders will tell you about all the problems, and they're the ones with the solution. No one else has a solution besides me. So if you begin to, like, that's always in his message. That's in their messaging. I provide you the problem. At least I highlight the problem, in many ways exaggerate the problem, and I tell you I am the one that can solve the problem. So you will begin to say things like, we all say, oh, they're human. No. From a true African-centered perspective, we have all the things have to balance out.
So anybody just trying to bring division within it anyway. Division is like, I'm not with this group of people, I'm with this group of people. Like, that's not Pan-Africanist at all. It's not. You know what I'm saying? So division is never good. Yeah.
So oh, wrong one. I saw Kevin said something earlier, but I don't see it here.
Oh, Kevin?
No. Okay. Kevin, Mr. K said something that I had clicked on, but I guess here to go. He says, Mr. K says, Dr. Dennis, I can't lie. And this is speaking to much of what I said I experienced and felt in that interview the other day as well. He says, Dr. Dennis, I can't lie. Umar Johnson said some things I agree with, but that's because Umar's oratory is a hodgepodge mix of sprinkled facts within a sea of fiction. I think Mr. K said it really well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people like Umar know that we've been hurt so bad that we want that fiction.
So he's been a leech.
We've been hurt so bad, we want that fiction.
Right.
So he's the pipe. How they call the piper?
Yeah. Leading all, saving all our minds.
And yeah, because I remember. Go ahead.
Because it feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. You know what I'm saying? He's talking blackness at the same time, along with the movement of the arms, and and the poetry.
Yeah, it is poetic.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to go back to another brother I've been telling people about. And I keep telling them, they woke us up. They woke us up. Dr. Jared Ball always speaks about the tricks. And he speaks about how even these movies that we think are waking people up aren't necessarily waking people up. We don't even have evidence that it's doing the thing that we said is doing.
Right.
I mean, it may feel good. It might you might find one case, but as a mass, as people on a greater level, they don't. But there's one point right here, Baba.
Okay.
So I've often told people the same thing when it came to Brother Polite. And I've heard brothers in the community say the same thing about him. Oh, well, if they dumb enough, if they stupid enough to keep giving him their money, but they're not knowing the hypnosis or the hypnotic effect that it's having on people. And I've been telling people for years that school made no sense from the start. But the thing is, we want to feel good. And when I hear people say things like, well, at least they could wake us up and I got caught and I was up in there and all that type of thing, it lets me know that we need to really improve on understanding human psychology. We need to understand personality. And I'm saying that is what I argue, because and then we say things like the person changed. No, that personality was there. You refuse to look at the red flags. It's too much conspiracy theory mixed in his stuff. And when I say conspiracy theory, made up stuff. Umar Johnson will talk about anything. If you just watch him for a week, he'll go from being the greatest conspiracy theorist to a dignified doctor to a dude from around the way. Like his identity is not solidified.
He always had to be saying something. Lon's point is on him, like a Gnosis that you would say.
Oh boy, look, like you would say. No, I can't say things like that publicly.
Okay, all right.
Now, well, I will say that there's definitely some personality stuff that seems to be going on.
Some traits there, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, family. Hey, cuz, what you got? Look, cuz, don't. Hey, cuz, look. Hey, Professor Shabazz.
No, I'm still here. I'm good. I mean, I'm laying in the cut, like I said earlier. But
right.
we can talk. We can chop it up again about
about
Dr. Umar. But I'm not putting that man on no positive track list. I simply said
right
that I have seen people. I understand why some people walk away from his conversations thinking more along a positive line than the people I have seen. Like, I have not seen any positivity coming out of Tariq Nasheed. I have seen positivity coming out of Umar's conversations. To me, Tariq does nothing but tear down everything he possibly can. And I that's the only thing that I'm pointing out as a difference.
Well, Tariq put out that show. What's the name of that show?
Hidden Colors.
Yeah, Hidden Colors. A lot of people say they thank God for that, because that's
where Umar got. I mean, Umar was the star.
He was in it. Yeah.
Okay.
So then Cuz has to take that back, because Tariq in many ways is responsible for the problem we have in this guy we call Umar.
Didn't know that. What do you think? That's where it all started.
He had to laugh on that one. I mean, I know the side others and people before that, but no, Tariq and the mixture of Umar together. I'm saying that combination of Hidden Colors and Umar is what people are still trying to chase today. I think people want to become Umar. They think Hidden Colors is going to get them there. That Umar has special talent and abilities. And Tariq has special talent and abilities that came together and it blew up. I'm saying because
you got a Cadillac salesman and a Mercedes Benz.
Oh man, a Cadillac salesman and Mercedes Benz. You know, Tariq Nasheed is a little bit more wicked than that. He's like a mass marketer.
But you know what? Now, right there, a mass marketer. So something Cuz said earlier, my nephew said earlier is that anytime you can get on the air and show your pictures and stuff, and they allow you to come on there, it's somebody behind you just pushing you, and usually those people don't mean you know damn good neither.
Well, I can't ever say this person's name, but they always drop good stuff. Biwana Guziki says that the House of Consciousness. Think about it. Think about that. It's, you know, in alignment with what Brother Cuz is saying here, but he loves the House of Consciousness, by the way. But the House of Consciousness has produced more cult leaders than Tariq. Now, the place that's supposed to wake you up and bring you to consciousness have produced more cult leaders than Tariq.
Neighborhood cult leaders.
Lower tier cult leaders. Because these guys, Tariq, what's these guys? I don't even know their names, but the FBA guys, they got, if you go and look at their views, the views they get, the people that Tariq created, the amount of views these guys are really nobody. They really ain't that special. But they come on and talk about FBA, and God knows the views are out of this world.
Wow.
I mean, like there's nothing. The craziness over there. Because you create cult followings. These people don't even have to say anything special, and the people stay on the lives.
Everybody looking for that feel good.
All you gotta do is look at that trailer that Tariq just put out. It's two brothers on there. I don't know their names. It's something the black or something. This or that. Because you might know that information. You know.
No, I've heard some people talking about the trailer. I haven't seen it, so I don't know who's in it.
But all you have to do is go and look at their station. I can't remember the views, but the views be up in the thousands.
But it's because people are hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they looking for this feel good, and we just broken people in a sense. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that everybody is broken. Please don't say that about me, because at the same time, I know we are some strong individual people. There are just some of us that just want to just hurt some sweet nothingness. You see what I'm saying?
Some of them bots.
Yeah. Now, because I'm not saying that our people are very, very strong. Anything that we tackle, anything that comes our way, we find out a way to make it happen.
Absolutely.
To make it happen. And slavery was one of the best in the world. How we manipulated ourselves through that and still came out with dignity.
As foundational Black Americans.
Dignity. I heard you.
Some of them say, there was no slavery. We just had a brother come in a brother Cuz, man, I'm sad you was sick. You know, somebody came into the temple the other day, man. They came for me the other day.
Oh Lord.
On the Zoom, man. They came in there. They started putting out all their pseudo talking points.
As what?
Oh, word. Yeah,
because if you can say what he was saying, it might help somebody else out there that's thinking the same way.
Well, I think he went around the long way to say that we not African, and basically we were everywhere, and we had what's the word? Autogenous beings.
Autogenous, yeah.
Unconsciousness, and he kept going on and on and on, and he told me, hold up. And after a while, I was like, well, brother, I mean, I'm not sure about some of this information. Next thing you know, he called me a girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord. Huh?
He says, you stop acting like a woman. I said, okay. My father said, hold up now.
He said female.
Stop acting like a female. Yeah. And the reality is, if I show the clip, you will see who was acting. I won't say female because I would never say my sisters act like he did.
I
would
never. You can send me the link.
dysregulated and in his feelings, screaming, "Stop acting like a female." I know what he meant. He was saying, "Stop being emotional," when the calmest person in the room, I'm not in the room, but in the conversation, was me, who he called that word. But he was supposed, he's almighty.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to say the B word then.
He did, perhaps. But he did sing well before. He did do a good song. He was rocking the song though. Before he was rocking the song, it was like a
yin and yang. There's always some good stuff.
And
I'm saying yin and yang. I mean, I know it, all y'all say yin and yang.
Musicians know that. Musicians know that many musicians struggle with clarity on a psychological level.
A lot of them is bipolar also. A lot of the great jazz musicians was bi.
Yeah. So I understand my brother.
Right.
And I'm not saying he was that, but I'm saying that I understand you can't to bring out some great music. Sometimes you got to have some very extreme moods and things of that nature, So
everything has a purpose.
So he's an artist.
Right.
But he was trying to play intellect. And
so stick to being an artist.
I mean, that's what I be trying to tell people. Like I don't come in your place trying to tell you how to hit the note.
Right.
That's why I keep saying, like, I don't come in your place trying to tell you how to hit the note, but you want to come in and tell me how to research. And nothing he was saying was substantiated.
Not at all.
Oh, he started going through when we said to be African, he started talking about the mounds, there's more mounds here than pyramids in Egypt. Like, what the hell? I don't even, what's that got to do with anything? In fact, you don't want to be part of Africa, but you want to use these mounds as an example of how African people were here, and we. So I asked him, what is that? What is it? How you say it? Because what's an autochthonous being or whatever he said?
That you got it right. Autochthonous.
Then he said it's from the soil. I said, what does that mean? We're from the soil, brother. We're from the soil. I said, okay, could you help me understand what it means to be from the soil? Then he started going into this fake accent. I'm sorry, he had a fake accent too. He had like a fake Caribbean accent.
It's a word for that too.
Cosplaying Caribbeans. he was philosophizing. He was, how they used to do back in the Black Power era. Everybody like they put the dashikis on it. They start sounding like Stokely Carmichael.
No, I'm not gonna do that to us. But yeah, some of us did.
Some of them did.
Yeah,
and they still do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, brother, what we do is we have to look at the science of the mounds and look at us as autochthonous beings and how we understand that there's more pyramids in South America and North America than there are in Kemet altogether. So I said, so what are you saying? He could not. Well, I am saying that the very thing is that there are more mounds. I said, no, what is that saying? What point are you trying to get at? That we are autochthonous beings. And so what does that mean? We come from the soil. What does it mean? So we come from the soil. So what are you saying? And then he kept going this whole thing. I can't do it like he did it. Believe me, Umar is lightweight to him. So at the end of the day, I said, so are you? So I said, hold up. Are you African?
I wasn't here for that. So what do you say?
No, you were there. I think.
I came in a little late.
Well, he said. Then I said, "So are you African?"
I wasn't there for.
No. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You talking about the beginning?
Yeah.
He did. He started talking about the mounds and all this, and then he went to this idea. At the end, I said, "Let me ask you this clearly, because he's saying a lot, but you're not really saying what you're trying to say." I said, "Are you African?" Well, brother, I'm a nationality. He said. I'm a nationality. That's how he responded. I'm never a place that, then he started going to the slave ship. They never found any evidence of slave ships and all of this and all of that. And that's when you came in on that part. And then I was like, well, that's not actually true.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people get, some people get hooked up on their own thing. And some people want to be heard. Like to me, really, for real, he wanted his point. We wasn't even on that subject that he wanted to talk about. But some people just want to bring you the ideology.
That's what it was.
You see what I'm saying?
I kept trying to bring them back to the book To Be African.
Yeah.
And what the writer was saying, in this case, Dr. Wade Nobles, And in fact, you could disagree with that. You don't have to agree with that, but let's talk about that. That was the subject.
Right.
But you want to go into I'm attaching this to this land, and and we are, and I am universal, galactical, and so then you realize that many of the people that have these these are the people that FBA attract. Not all people. There's either these people or they're the very angry people. I'm angry because an African said something about me. Yeah, I get it. And
that's also called control through the media, and they want you to respond at exactly the way you responded.
A family, y'all look. We put this as a call-in show with Baba Ausar, and look, and wanted to hear y'all come in. I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. We're looking for some people to join us, but look, don't be scared. I mean, cuz come up here trying to defend. Oh, no. Let me leave him alone before he get mad at me. Look, cuz I apologize for everything.
Yeah, because
you good.
Look,
nephew, you all right with me? You know that.
Look, he gonna do a whole
thank you,
breakdown on me. We're gonna be look the two cousins debating. Look, the proper breakdown on Dr. Daw. I would love it. I'll get my popcorn ready and everything. Look, y'all, let's go with the proper respect. At least I know he's gonna be somewhat respectful, So look, and
he's gonna bring some logic in there, some kind of way.
Yeah, I don't know how you gonna logic this one. Look, I'm trying to ignore.
I do got some logic. I got the logic though. I do got the logic.
You do got the logic, so much so. You logic and Umar for sure, but
you had to take that, nephew. You had to take that, man.
Hey, no, but I get it though. Like he's under the weather, so I'm.
Now you said that's playing with your brain.
We're gonna give him a pass today, family. Look. I remember one time, my brother, my man, he mad at me, brother, because. Remember that day the brother came on from New York? What's his name? JT Fax. JT Fax is mad at me. You would think I voted for I voted for Trump.
Why you mad at you?
Because I told them I'm voting for a third party.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't convince him enough that I know Maryland's going to vote blue.
And see, that's another thing. You should never get mad at a person about his political.
He's saying I voted for Trump.
Just because
the same Democrats that say they fought for our vote. Now it's not that they just our ancestors died for our vote. They now die for you to push a certain button. What'd you say about that, cuz?
I have fought that argument a lot.
We're gonna bring.
I have fought that with friends and people even closer than friends, because I have said, I know that there are, for instance, people say, our ancestors fought for this. And I'm like, I know that there are some ancestors that said, don't fight for this. So if I feel so inclined as to say I don't want to vote, I still know that I'm honoring some of my ancestors. If I feel so inclined. Now, I would never vote Republican. I'm not, I might, my bias would be all super exposed. I don't have a lot of patience for people that vote Republican. I'm cool with third parties. I understand the Democratic push, but I've had those fights, those arguments and conversations, and that's kind of like where I stand on it. I don't care if I'm okay if you say I'm gonna sit it out. I'm okay if you vote blue. I'm okay if you vote third party. I actually was trying to work with a brother who wanted to try to start a third party. But one of the things that I had to recognize, if you want to start a third party, you got to start, one city at a time. You can't say I'm gonna start this national thing, and you just like that's a huge money machine right there. So, but anyhow.
I voted for all the Democratic people locally too.
there you go. And see, and then again, like because every state it has a completely different like dynamic, so to speak. Like so, there are like I saw this person online talking about voting third party,
Mm-hmm.
because in their city, in their city, the only people that were standing up for like the quote unquote people, and not just black people, but the people in general, were third
Mm-hmm.
party. So like if you got a corporate Democrat, like if the Palestine issue is in your heart,
Yeah.
and you know, and you want a representative that's going to at least speak against what's going on in Palestine, and you have the Democrat that's like, nope, not gonna touch it, and you got the Republican, let's bomb them, and you got a third party person that's like, we gonna fix this, we gonna improve the schools, we gonna stop Palestine bombings, and it makes sense for you to be like, well, okay, that's who I'm gonna vote for in my city.
Yeah, I have a question. I appreciate that, Baba.
Mm.
So I know you over the years, and we're not gonna stay here too much longer. So if y'all want to jump in on here, please come in. Over the years, so I remember you used to have a T-shirt called African Period.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about? I mean, I'm not sure there's an evolution that has taken place or what have you, but I'm wondering in 2026, what do you? Is that still consistent, or not? Not even that it has to be period, but do you still like? What are your thoughts about FBA saying we're not African?
Mm-hmm.
That Africans sold us to slavery.
Mm.
And why would we want to be Africans? They sold us to slavery. Why would we want to call ourselves African? In fact, we're not African.
Mm.
And some may say that we're African descendants, and others say we've never been a part of Africa. I mean, like, what is some of your thoughts around that?
Can we do DNA?
You can do whatever you want to do.
So if you're gonna look at the DNA and then you're gonna look at the history of our people, I can't see no way you can say that you're not some type of African that's in you, some kind of makeup, any kind of way.
Mm.
You can't leave the black eye out the pea.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? They black eyed peas.
Mm-hmm.
That's us. We are Africans. I always would be. Now, that don't mean that I'm. The media has a lot of stuff to do with a lot of way people think too, and people, gravitate towards whatever sound good, and the media can push this on a lot of people. But I look at YouTube, and I try to digest some of the stuff that people say. But like I say, I can't listen to one person saying this and say this is the overall everything of it all. But I still can listen to it. But I don't have to say that they are right about that, because I have African friends. You understand what I'm saying?
You have African friends.
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
But they say Africans don't like us.
Oh man, no, I have a barber. He's a beautiful brother.
A barber, BABA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and him been getting along for years. I have a good friend, been friends for 23 years. His name is Manuel. You know what I'm saying? And we've been through the good, the bad. He's a Christian. And of course, during my day and when he was younger, I was fighting Christianity because I seen the damage that it had done to our people. So I was fighting that part of it, But everything has a part, in some kind of way. But no, him been friends for 23 years.
He's your wardrobeist, isn't he? Or one of them?
Yeah, not that one, the other one.
Oh, let's talk about that part.
What's that?
I mean, if you don't mind sharing, like some like you're not just
let's say
surface friends.
Okay, yeah. The ancestors have blessed me. Say, for instance, they say if you manifest something, it might come to you. This is one of those things. I had said a long time ago that I did not want to wear any American clothes. Never again. That's how strong I felt. That don't mean that's because you are wearing American clothes that you're not a militant. That was me. That was my thought. I wanted them. I always said this: when I walk down the street, I want them to say them, meaning the white man, white people, whatever you want to call them. When they see me, I wanted them to know they didn't get me. They didn't get my mentality. They didn't get my spirit. You know, they didn't get that part of me.
Yes, sir.
And they'll never get that part of me. Never. And to even make it better, I pass that part on to you and your sisters. You see what I'm saying? Because all y'all Afros centered thinking one way or other. Even your sisters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even my sisters, you know. And then I think somebody said, if you walk in a person's house and you don't see nothing of yourself in there, that's bad. And you got Europeans all the way around, but nothing African or nothing of that of you in there. That's saying a lot about you. You see what I'm saying? And we have been sold like I say, some people don't want to be identified African because now it's hard for me to believe that this young man that went around all in Africa was bringing attention to them, that they had cities and etc. In the day's time, I found that hard. But then they started saying how beautiful Africa is. And then they say the tickets to Africa had went off the charts now because people want to go to Africa. You see what I'm saying? I want to put a shout out to Afro Think Tank. I think that brother does an excellent job on the media. His name is Afro Think Tank. And I think he's sincere with what he do. And he's a Pan-Africanist. Right.
Yeah, I've seen some of his videos. I really haven't looked at it in a great extent.
Right.
I just noticed that he's outside. Sometimes he got a shirt on, sometimes he doesn't.
Most of the time he got a shirt on. Yeah. He said the other day, he said, I'm in the wintertime, it's snow out here. I still got my shirt on. But not that. I like his philosophy, and I like his love for his people. And it shows. And he's not biased in that. He even in Africa, he put a well in a country there. Well, yes. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And he's not going around talking about it. He said, but it shouldn't, if your boy had done it, he'd be all on the papers.
Who's that boy?
Nephew.
Umar.
Yeah.
If Umar had done it.
If Omar had done it, it would have been all around the world. You see what I'm saying? And by him doing it, nobody knows about it. You see what I'm saying?
So yeah. So do you still subscribe to the term African?
Most definitely. Yeah. African American, you saying?
What? I'm not saying. I'm just saying African in any way.
African period. Right. Yes.
Do you subscribe to the African American?
I can see that. Yes.
You can see that. Okay.
I wouldn't fight it. No.
When you think about African Americans, who do you think about?
Americans that during the slave trade came over.
You think about my wife?
Yeah.
Do you think she's an African American for real?
Do I think she's an African American?
Yeah.
Your wife?
My wife.
Oh
yeah.
no! I thought you said my wife. No, of course not.
Okay, because and the reason why I asked is that
no, she's not an African American.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked that is because one of the arguments is that it's not clear enough, and people think that African Americans are inclusive of all African people everywhere. You know,
right? No, she wouldn't have that title.
She wouldn't have that title.
No,
even if she checked the box or something like that, but it doesn't really fall. They think that this is that they think that the reparations. And brother Cuz broke that down pretty well. I got to start. I got to affirm him now a little bit. Brother Cuz has great breakdowns on his channel. Make sure y'all go to the proper perspective and check out some of his breakdowns. But he done a lot of good work on everything from reparations to almost anything that's really. He gives some real good critical analysis. Just don't look at anything that he talks about Umar.
Hey, Cuz, hey, you see what he did? He gave you the thumbs up and then he put the thumb somewhere else. That ain't right.
I heard that.
I keep calling you Cuz too, nephew.
No, but I'm certain if he did break down Umar, he would give good analysis. Okay,
Yeah.
we got somebody up in here, I think. All right, let's see. Add to the stage. Talk to Baba Ausar, y'all. Can you tell me how to say your name? Because every time I see it, it's a
It's no
struggle.
sweat. It's no sweat. You could call me Bwana.
Bawana. All
Yeah,
right.
but I go by Bwana Hagoziki. It's cool. It's cool.
Bawana
I have a
Hazu.
question.
Okay.
Hagoziki. Yeah, I have a question for Pops. I have a question for Pops.
Okay.
Because I think that this is like a healthy conversation
Mhm.
between father and son,
Mhm.
and you really don't have an opportunity to see these kinds of dialogues
Mhm.
on the internet. So my
Mhm.
question to him is, how did he raise you in a way that now that you're a grown man, y'all
Grown
almost
ass
seem
man.
like brothers. Y'all almost seem like friends. Y'all have a very respectful, healthy relationship that you don't usually see. So I'm curious to know, how did he go about in training and raising you and his daughters as well in a way that y'all could have such a respectful, healthy relationship at this point? That's the question I have. I'll leave it.
That's a beautiful question.
I think because I was raised up like that, so I'm just a reflection of my father and my mother, but I gave to my son and my children and my daughters. I always had a mother and a father. You know what I'm saying? And respect was number one. And before I knew I was black, I knew I was great, because my father always told us. He said, "Son, you are a winkler." So therefore, when I step outside, represent being a winkler, So I was proud of being a winkler before I knew I was black. And I know because it's come a time that you find out that you are black. And when I found out that I was, well, really I was colored. Let's say I found out I was colored. And that was a difference in being. But no, I always I think that I have to, I brought them up blacker than black, everything.
Blackity black.
Yeah, they wasn't allowed to look at Tarzan. They wasn't allowed to look at certain things that degraded us. You understand what I'm saying? I took them to all the museums that we go to. I took them to African Liberation every year. We, I even had them on my back certain places. Ever since then, what's called, indoctrinated nation or whatever. What's the word for it?
Indoctrination. Indoctrinated me.
Right.
Okay.
Brainwashing. Right. I brainwash them my way, our way. I always let our children know that it was great. They could do anything. I say, go to school and create a job. That's the way we used to think back in the day. And I guess the last thing I can say is that, like I say, I showed him much of himself that he could see. I even loved Africa, and I couldn't see no wrong in Africa. That's how I was during that time. I can see some wrong in Africa now, but during that time, I couldn't see no wrong in Africa. So that's what I was. That's how. Even when we had, I never did want to do Christmas, but of course, you got two people in the household, so you got to go some ways sometime.
So you struggle with European holidays.
Yeah, I did.
Your daughter. I'm glad you did say something positive, not knowing that she was one of your daughters are in the chat.
Oh yeah,
Latonya Nicole 7955.
That's number one.
Says hello, father and Dr. Brother.
That's my oldest daughter. Her name is Latonya. And if I need some hair done, she's good. She's really good at it. And see, that show you again. I'm a barber. She's a beautician, I guess we'll say. And she's cosmetologist
extraordinaire.
Right. And she's a people person too.
And I want to kind of like dive in on it and maybe
and can I say something about my other two daughters? Because I want to lead them out. Because what I'm saying is that they are entrepreneurs in their own way too. My daughter Mahisha, she has her own little business. And Tamika,
you can't say little. You don't mean anything by it, but that.
Oh, okay. That might throw some
own
drama.
business.
She has her own business also, and then Tamika, she's the. I never was into politics, and strangely enough, she's very good at what she's doing.
Yeah,
she's a good politician.
So I want to go back to answer to kind of the question though, like you promoting them, but how did you? The question was more about this friendship, like seemingly, like, believe me, he ain't never been my friend.
and check this out. And I always let him know that too. You understand what I'm saying? I said I'm your father. I think one day. I think that's essential though.
Yeah,
I think one day when we went out, I said I'm gonna be your friend.
Oh, one day. Oh yeah.
I remember that day, and
yeah.
and I say, but I will be your father in a second if you act up. You remember that?
Well, I know he was my father. I think that's essential to note.
Yes.
That he's still my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter wherever I feel like I've gone and been, all praises bow to my mother and my father. I think that's that African centeredness that we speak about, if we can, that African centered upbringing that he and my mother instilled. And I say that because my mother may have not read the books that he's read, but definitely is a very communal experience with her and him.
A philosophy
my father and mother were community people. I like to say that. He probably don't want to say that. Or
no,
maybe so they actually we were the community and familial house. One of the I'm not. So in other words, like his family, like he said, they always had each other's back. My mother's side of the family always had each other's back, and they too also had people in the family's back. But not only in the family, but also in the community. If people had some hard times,
Right. But you made me proud one time. You said something. I was like, wow, that's heavy. I never thought about it.
Back
like
up too far.
He said that you had said that Daddy, I did all the things I'm doing because I always knew you had my back.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So again, is that security there that prevents trauma? When you feel like your parents or your attachment figure has you, and will be there for you, and that's another thing. In many ways, I've emulated his posture. Like some of the things he said, his Detroit red didn't always shine out to me, and maybe it was tampered down, and by the time a lot of it was probably tampered down a bit to when he had us. Not to say it was all the way gone, but the reality is the person I know is a person who didn't do no cussing.
Right.
I'm talking about at least in front of us. Now you hear him, you might hear him say something because you be like, oh, whoa, okay. But he
see when you get old enough, you can say what the hell you want,
But it still didn't do any no cussing, didn't call us out of our names, talked about how beautiful we were. Who the great people we came from, all this African-centered stuff.
And I had rules, like say, for instance, when my children would go to school, if they had done something, they don't get that argument in the daytime. They get it when they come home.
Okay, never knew about that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the scary part. You knew he was waiting, but but I do think though through the modeling and the modeling more than anything that. There was things said. He said he took us to museums and he showed us how beautiful Black people were or are. And he has something right now that he says that he's pretty known for on social media platforms. And it goes as follows: to know us
is to love us.
And he puts out pictures of all types of African people or across the diaspora and continental to show us how beautiful we are. And I think one of the greatest things that he's shown me, and I still carry this to this day, I heard him say earlier this thing about these skyscrapers, but that's what we're looking for. But what he showed me growing up is the beauty in the people in the village, not just about a goddamn skyscraper. Excuse my language, Baba.
Right.
And it wasn't about. It was the lady or the men who didn't have to have clothes on that look like this even.
Right.
It was, so he showed me the beauty in humanity in African people and even other people outside of this Western way of looking at things. And what I would argue is that, and again, I think again, Umar said some beautiful things, brother, cuz I on the other day, if you have, and I really can't stomach.
I'm going to have to listen to this one.
I mean, I think he said some beautiful things, like not that it was 100% accurate, but it was more accurate than he typically is. And So I have to give him credit for that. But I'm still that does, I still understand that you don't want to mess with Umar. But I do he did say some great things, and it wasn't all that great, but it was good. It was a good effort from Umar. He spoke about the Haitian Revolution, and he spoke about how he said from his way of interpreting the ideas of the Haitian Revolution is that it was a Pan-African. I would say he didn't say it this way, but I would say it this way because we understand that Pan-Africanism as a construct was created sometime there after the Haitian Revolution, but it was Pan-African in spirit. The Haitian Revolution, when we talk about Bookman, where was Bookman from, Bobby? You remember? I know you had a whole video on it. I think Brother Cuz, where Bookman from, Brother Cuz? I think he was a Muslim. I do know that. Pardon, Cuz?
Yeah, he was a Muslim, and I know obviously it was West Africa. I'm not sure if it was from the Senegal region or not. I'm drawing a blank.
He came by way of Jamaica, actually.
Actually, yeah, but I was thinking about where the boat started. But I think he did. I think he sort of like either landed or something in Jamaica before he got to Haiti. He was transferred to Haiti from Jamaica.
Yeah, those old stories. I try to take the files back.
My father did a lot of research and he has some excellent shows. But what I want to show is that the way that he reared us and the way they reared us. You see how I always have to say they, because that's one of the things he also taught. He also taught from this African-centered perspective that you can never leave your mother out. You could never leave your father out. Like, it's a balance. You know what I mean? It's beauty. And in fact, told us that it required us to come together and co-create. Like, he was also very nature informed. And what I mean by that, he always taught us about nature and the beauty of nature. And he and I had telescopes and science kits, and we won the science fairs. Right. All these different things, spelling bees, and all these different things, that instill pride, and not just pride for being Black American, but being a citizen of the global African community. And that in and itself, I think, is part of the healing we need. And we can look at the problems that goes on undoubtedly across the globe with all Black people or African people. But at the same time, appreciate the strength and understand that unity is necessary. I would say that if one was really to think, if we really took our time to really slow down and think, if we compared the people in the way that they operate, who call themselves FBA, who they say they're not a group, we know they're a group. I don't care what they say, they are a group. Even African Americans are a group. So again, their logic don't be logicking. So the FBA, they want to make me an FBA. I'm just telling, I'm not an FBA. And I'm not an FBA because I know that it was created by Tariq Nasheed, and there's an ideology that one must adhere to per his own website. Just go look at the mess. But what I'm trying to get to is that if you put those, and we struggle in these Pan-African spaces, we struggle more so. And I'm saying especially we struggle, but those who are Pan-African and African-centered in ways, really compare that sample against the sample of FBA. And if you can't see that one glass has much cleaner water, then there's still some healing that needs to be done.
Right. Anything that brings division within it is not good.
And just the way that people conduct themselves. I think even what Brother Cuz is saying here, in all Umar sickness, when you compare him to Tariq Nasheed, Umar looks like a lightweight.
Yeah.
Because go ahead, Cuz.
No, you're absolutely right. That's all I'm saying. Absolutely. He's a
Because he
lightweight.
can reach more. You saying that because he can probably reach more people also?
No, Tariq Nasheed acts like a. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say he's a lightweight because Tariq has a stronger reach, a stronger impact.
Right.
But and again, unfortunately, Tariq's impact and his reach is all negative.
That's what I want to say.
Tariq is entirely a separationist, a divisive, a divisive individual, and all he wants is division. And and again, that's the only thing that I always keep circling back to with Dr. Umar. And if you listen to a Tariq speech, you're gonna walk out of it. You can walk out of it hating another black person. If you listen to a Umar speech, you can walk out of it and you might be mad at the white man, but you're not mad at an African. You're not mad at a Jamaican. You're not mad at a Trinidadian. I ain't seen no Umar
all black contractors. He's a little inconsistent, but I
said speeches. I said speeches. If you
he put it in his speeches.
Well, yeah, recently he did start talking smack
black
about
people,
contractors. Yeah,
some of his speeches are very scathing and very critical, overly critical. And when I mean by overly critical, I'm saying that critical in a way that is unnecessary and let me say it's harmful and it's also manipulative.
That's the part right there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I want to say
it reveals his true grift.
His true grift,
because it always comes at a time when he's requesting more money and requesting more time, and you know, so it's on the outside of his quote unquote talking points. It's on the outside of his quote unquote Pan-Africanism. It's that's when the church plate shows up.
You know, one thing I want to add to what you said earlier, cuz is this, is that Tariq, I just want to use one word. Like Umar, with all his mess, at least he has, I am not asking, I would suggest people not to become a victim of Umar. Let me just be clear. But even with that, don't become a victim of Umar. But listen here, let's kind of follow me slowly a little bit. There's a certain level of discipline in knowledge that goes against even some of the behaviors that he does. But at the same time, it does keep him in some level of check, although he's out of his mind at times and he's behaving really badly. But there's still certain limits. But with Tariq, there's no limit. And Umar doesn't hardly have limits, but he has more limits than Tariq.
So you're saying he's off the chain?
I am saying, and this is the word I'm looking for, Tariq is savage.
Wow.
And the more stuff he talks, the more, and I think this is what Cuz is saying, Tariq can say anything out of his mouth. Umar does have to get back on track and start saying positiveness or positivity or positive things about black people, because that is his audience. Although most of Umar, I would argue, and I don't know, I don't have the data, that most of Umar's audience are not Pan-Africanists.
Oh yeah,
not anymore. But I will say that with what he said the other day and how he put it, he will win some back. And if Umar got back, if Umar really could get back on I don't think the square. Yeah, on the square, but I don't think it's real. Let me just be clear.
Say the square gonna be floating.
The square would be him performing to win people back. He could do that because people were looking for someone like Umar,
and we're always forgiving.
We forgive, especially when they sound good.
Exactly.
You know, pimps know how to win back somebody.
Of course.
Preachers know how to. Not all preachers, but the preachers that do the thing, they do the thing.
Right.
You know, so basically, we will forgive because we want to have hope in somebody, and where we feel like we're deficient, people like Umar, and some of us, if we're manipulative, make up for that in our souls, in our spirit, in our psyche, because we feel like, look, this black man has done so much, and I get it, the psychology behind it, and you want to see him win, because you want to see us win, and his winning in our minds is tied to our winning, and that's a beautiful thing that's being manipulated.
And we have always been, since you said that, because even I remember as a child growing up, boxing used to come on Friday nights, and when Muhammad Ali or some of the greatest boxers was on there, Mike Tyson, my man, you see what I'm saying? We always wanted to see that win because we seen us winning. You know what I'm saying? That was part of us that was winning. Jack Johnson, I can't leave him out. You see what I'm saying? You know, a win for them was a win for us, and we could hold our chest.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And feel proud by doing it.
I heard a person say the other day, Bob, our entertainers, I forgot, it was a brother, he from around the way, around our old way.
Okay.
And he's not a quote unquote intellectual in the sense of going through any academic institutions, but I can't remember how he said it, but it was so profound to me that he said, in essence, he said, we struggle with holding our entertainers accountable.
Most definitely.
And I thought about that when he said that, and I thought about, and he named some people, Puffy and Kelly, and then we can throw Umar in there as well, because Umar, the reason why people gravitate towards Umar is not because of what his words are, it's how he says it.
He's an entertainer.
And to me, like me, because I'm a very critical person, and I don't like small talk, that turns me off. And I realize that what turns me off turns people on. And so that's something I have to even equate in my mind. But again, I realize that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, because the reality is this: I don't want no yes people. I want thinking people. Right. You know what I mean? And I don't want yes people. I mean,
as small as I am, let's say, you know, I've seen people try to push me up there to a guru. I mean, a real.
You are a guru.
You know what I'm saying? Ask me for help mentally. And I say, no, I'm not the one to help you with your mental illness, but my son does that. You understand what I'm saying? I know my place. That's what I'm saying.
No, I do get it.
Yeah,
I think
not saying I couldn't talk to him.
You talk to him, but you're already working with them on their mental illness.
Yes,
when you do your Tai Chi, when you're doing your meditation, you're already working with them in that capacity.
In the mental.
Now, what you're saying is, let's work with this from a holistic perspective.
Right.
We will do the movement, and we will deal with the meditation. Right. We will deal with all these things. Now, go in, and not to say that there's no crossover there, but there's this let's go and talk. If you want to talk more about emotions, and you want psychoeducation, and you want some cognitive restructuring, and you want some challenges and all that type of things, and you just keep it real, keep it above. Bob, like, look, I ain't got too much time after you say the same thing 5 times. You go talk to my son,
and you know that,
right? I ain't that repeater. That's what he did.
I am not a.
So what's the dear brother name? I forgot his name already. But anyway, that's what he did. He was a real strong dad. If you tell me, I say he's a dad's dad, a father's father. Like there was that fatherly. That's that father. Look, oh, that's my father. Oh, yeah, that's my father. You know what I'm saying? So, but nonetheless, we also just family. We all always been with family. So again, there's a deep level of respect there, and I think that's part of it. But also the part of it is doing things as a family. Having fun times, spending time. Like there's no discomfort or awkwardness there.
We still have gatherings.
Yeah. And it's been forever.
Yeah.
Right.
So our gatherings look like And and really the way I look at it is like this. Sometimes I sit back and look. Like when y'all come over the house or we go out to the park or we do things like that. And I was like, wow, look what two people can do. And that's me and my wife. That we did that right there. Not saying that everybody else is out, but just that right there. And y'all make me proud. Right. Exactly.
So Baba.
Yes, sir. It's been fun.
I think it's been fun. We had a few people call in. But brother Perspective, you got something on the way out?
Nah, I'm good. I'm about to fall out anyhow.
Hope you feel better, man. Drink some tea. You know that though.
When you come out of your slumber, when you come out of your slumber, don't look. Tell me before you come on the video, chop me apart.
I ain't gonna chop you apart. I usually keep my Umar comments to myself, but I ain't gonna. Ain't nothing to chop up though. It's like, because essentially we still saying the same thing. I'm not giving him. Yeah, I'm not giving him a pass by no means.
Now think about this to add to this conversation. Dang, I can't find the brother's name. Sylvester, you could have called back in, brother. You could have came back in. I think it was Sylvester, but what Bawana was saying, Bawana's also, this is my blood cousin. You know what I mean? Some people say they thought we were gang members because we was calling each other cuz.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
No, that's my real cousin. You know what I mean? My big cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, even from an African perspective, that's my big cousin.
That's my brother. Peace out. Rest in peace to my brother Larry Winkler. That's his son.
Yes,
right.
Yes, so rest in peace.
He's a junior, right? Like he's a junior.
Indeed.
Right. So there's a level of, I'm talking about just in the family, not just ideologically. Like he might not know this, my cousin might not know this, but there's a level of, I look at him as my elder cousin, right? So what'd you say?
Okay, I said, oh, thank you. Nah, I know that.
so because you're the older cousin, so you might not know that. So it's like there's a certain level of respect there. Like my sister just came, that's my older sister.
Right.
So it's like I still, from an African perspective, there's a certain level of hierarchy, natural hierarchy. I'm calling. You know what I'm saying?
And I have used that too myself. I had called my daughter up. I said, look, you got to say this because you're the oldest. And she like, oh, Dad, yeah,
she carries that as a big sister,
right?
You know what I'm saying? That's how she does it. You know what I'm saying? So without these white people papers, don't mean a thing. Now we can debate because I debate my father,
right?
But at the same time, look. But at the same time, that at the end of the day,
I wouldn't want to raise the children that couldn't debate with me. What is that? And I always say this, and I always have said that. And I think each father, all parents want to always see their children do better than them, because we had that mentality from even when we were under the conditions of doing free work for these people here. We always want to see our people do more or do better. So I got that do better attitude. You understand what I'm saying? I always want to.
Absolutely.
I always want to, and even my great grandchildren, my grandchildren, I want them to do better than that.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And I would, let me say this first of all. Our children are fantastic. They are not crazy, out of their minds. Of course, you're going to have a little of this and a little of that, but when you listen to them, even with the rap, listen to a brother spitting those words out coming from the dome that quick and sufficient in what he's saying, that's a piece of artwork in itself. I tried to put 3 pieces together, couldn't get nowhere. You know what I mean, nephew? Nephew helped me out with one of my things. Yeah, because that's the way they can spit that thing out. I look at it as a computer. And they putting the words in the right perspective, and they're bringing everything together. That's a masterpiece.
So, Baba, any closing words when you think about FBA, Pan-Africanism, African-centered thought?
So my thing is this: anything that's going to name itself something to divide something, when you divide something, that's half of it. Be the whole. Don't take the half. You see what I'm saying? And my words, my last words will be in this. I always say this: to know us is to love us, meaning that sometimes take out the time to know a person. Take out the time to try to understand the hurts, the joy. You understand? Besides, I think the old saying was walk a mile in the innocent moccasins or some Indian shoes or something like that. Same sense before you go out and prejudge people and do things. And then lastly is this: until you learn how to love yourself, you cannot not love other people.
Oh, hold up, Bob. Somebody came in for you.
Okay.
Look, Duke, what it is?
I'm still learning, gentlemen. I'm still learning, gentlemen.
Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Virginia.
Okay.
What part?
Central Virginia.
Central Virginia. What's your town?
Farmville, Virginia.
Oh, Farmville. That's my home. That's part of my hometown.
That's his hood. He rock ruffs and stuffs like Afro puffs, like Rage. Go on with your bad stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now I've been hearing about all this stuff with the FBAs and everything in between. I'm a scholar of Neely Fuller Jr. and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. And one of the things that the late Mr. Fuller made adamantly clear in his code book as a suggestion in one of the 10 basic stops is to stop squabbling amongst yourselves and getting racists to solve it. What I'm hearing with this whole back and forth between ADOS, well, ADOS is not really as relevant as it once was as a vernacular. It's now FBA. I don't know what the next name is going to be. DAFA, whatever. DAFA.
They're a little different. That's from Umar. So that's more of a Pan-African spin.
I think it's nothing more than, I think as Black people, we've been trained in a system of white supremacy to beat down on each other because it's easy for me to punch you in the face because there's no political consequence as Black people are harming each other. But the moment we harm one of the people in the majority population, aka the white nation, the race nation, then there's a political consequence, and there's a judge, there's lawyers, there's the whole political system, and the weight of that system coming down on you. And I think we have to stop beating down on each other. And I've talked to some of these FBAs, and many of them are extremely condescending. I don't know where they get their knowledge about foundational people, because for starters, we ain't foundational to nothing. We were brought here as slaves. What are we foundational about? That's like me saying I'm a foundational prisoner. Oh, I was happy when I was here when Pelican Bay first opened. And I was foundational to this. You know what we did in this prison? We got the warden to respect our culture. When you're a prisoner, you're not, no prisoner walks around bragging about how foundational they were to be a prisoner. Nobody does that.
Right.
But I think it's just another way for them to get some traction, because we're the biggest. Another thing we've been trained is to always seek attention or seek validation. And if we don't have self-respect for ourselves, then we want somebody else to give that respect, but we don't want it from us. We want it from the non-Black society. We want validation from them, consciously and subconsciously. And so I'm disgusted by it, because to sit there and beat up on Africans or people who come from the continent known as Africa, calling them names and saying these different things about them, and then saying, "Oh, we're delineating." Well, I can't delineate my being treated as a nigger in the system of white supremacy. Instead of being treated as a man, I can't delineate from that. But I think it's just one big game, and sooner or later, I think this is going to come to an end.
It will.
Once Trump comes out of office, they're going to move on to something else. Next thing you know, it'd be foundational. Well, not even Black no more. Now we're going to be called what are they going to call themselves next? Black American descendants or
They
something.
might
I
not
mean,
even
it's
use,
just
they might
it's
not even
crazy.
use the word black because they might say the word black is being used too widely because that's their argument about African American. So it's used too widely. So that's why they call themselves foundational, and black is Black Americans and nobody else is black and all this other stuff.
And I heard even Africans try to argue over that. Like one brother told the other guy, he said, if you don't open your mouth up, you black. That's how somebody gonna see you. First of all, you black. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But the part of the interesting thing is they will also say like, well, they don't call themselves black, so they're upset that I'm talking about FBA is upset that other black people around the world are not calling themselves black for different reasons. But then what they will say is when someone says they're black, you're not black. Yes. So it's a very distorted way of looking at the world, and you will never actually get what it is that you're demanding of our dear brothers and sisters across the world because you're not looking for it. Because even when someone shows you that what you say they don't do and that they do it, it's still not enough. Because in your mind now you just become defensive and say, no, you're not black. We're the only black people. This is what they're saying. Many of them. We are the only black people and we're the only ones that can use black. Wow. While at the same time say, see, they don't even consider themselves black. So again, that's why I'm not even getting in the argument, because I realize how and why people from black majority countries would not call themselves black. It's not like black is this universal term that everybody uses.
Yeah, like somebody like say for instance, my friend from Africa, he know he's a black man because he say this. But if you ask him what he is, he say I'm a Nigerian.
But like some other people here would say African American. Right. Some people can't stand the word black here. Some people would rather still keep the word Negro than black. Wow. So it's like
Which is the same thing in Spanish. It's nothing different. It's the same thing in Spanish.
Absolutely.
Same thing.
Absolutely. It's the same word. Negro is black in Spanish.
Oh yeah, but you asking somebody to know something there, right?
But yeah, but that exactly. But right. They're not thinking of it that way. So they would rather use the word Negro. Some African American. Some like I'm not African. I'm not African. So just call me American.
Oh man, I had that in the Bible.
I think what goes on here is they mix nationality with race, and I think that's what the term ethnicity comes in, is the mixing of a nationality to a race. When your friend said, "I'm not black, I'm Nigerian," he's correct. He can say, "I come from Nigeria, I come from Sudan." We can't say the same thing here,
but he do identify as being a black man. I must say that though.
But we can say the same thing here if we the term that we already have, which is quite sufficient in African American or Black American, if you want to call yourself that.
I think sometimes we just make too big a fuss over nothing. That don't make no. It makes sense to maybe somebody to argue about it, but not really to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, I had that teacher who said African period. And
because they're not trying to make sense. They try to make mess.
Oh, okay. I agree with you. Yeah. And some people there's always that person that's going to see something wrong in something right. Even in something that has a solution to it, they try to make a problem.
And we got to keep in mind there's a wizard of Oz.
Don't get me started. Yes.
So those of the likes of a Tariq Nasheed is a Wizard of Oz.
Okay, gotcha.
A Wizard of Oz. Nobody knew who he was, but he was running every goddamn thing.
Right.
So that's why you got this leaderless organization. There's not an organization that doesn't have a leader.
Right.
Or it's not an organization because we didn't put it down on file. We didn't put it down on paper. Well, but I do own the trademark. But there's no leader. Of course, there's no leader to a lineage because lineage just supplants the word group, or they don't want to use the word group. There ain't no group. What do you mean we're not a group? Like we're just a lineage. Well, that doesn't make sense. Again, because African Americans are a group. I want to keep telling people this. Like they're saying that this is the new term, but it's just a lineage, but it's not a group. And African Americans are a group of people.
We not only a group of people, we are almost a blueprint of a lot of stuff. He said, "Oh boy, a lot of stuff that's going on in the world today.
Well, I mean,
our dress, our fashion, our everything.
But it's still a group of people.
Yeah, it's still.
I mean,
people. I'm not saying
the
that.
FBA people would definitely love to hear you say that. I mean, I agree that we're very influential.
Yeah.
But I would also argue that we don't get too arrogant about this influence, because this is borrowed influence.
I got you.
like our influence is not like African people anywhere else are any less talented, or that we're more or less talented here.
And yes, and then it's one thing that I really.
But we are on the plantation. We are on the biggest plantation.
Yes, that's what I could say, because when I see these people that made some money and they come on TV and they show all this, look what you can do, look what you can get. Another thing, you see what I'm saying? Build sales. I like, nobody does that. So you got a lot of money. So what? We already figuring you got some money because you just put out some hits and everything like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Somebody said Happy FBA History Month. So it's so much, right? And we're going. And dear brother,
thank you for calling in, my brother.
I think he dropped off anyway. Okay. Yeah. So I really appreciate the you all chiming in. Make sure you, before you leave, you like this video. You share this video, leave some comments once it posts. Keep the conversation going. JG11, I'm not sure if she will come on. We got some shy people in my family. I'm talking about Edeline. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it's good. You don't know her last name. Nonetheless,
you mean to put it out like that?
Yeah. Talking about my Haitian sister-in-law or Haitian sister. Just call it that. So what we're going to do, we're going to close out. Baba, I know that. Did you have anything to add on what you already said to take us out of here?
Well, just learn to love yourself. And if you love yourself, once again, loving yourself as a Black American, oh God, or whatever you want to be, show that love, share that love with everybody that look like you, and sometimes those that don't look like you, because there always had to be one that's really fighting for you, like Jim. What's his name? What's his name? John Brown. You see, there will be a John Brown. I will always say John Brown is a hero of mine. So, and I always say this: we talk about slavery, and yes, we got out of slavery, but mental slavery is still going on. And if it wasn't for certain people that don't look like us, we wouldn't got out of slavery as fast. Not saying we wouldn't have got out of slavery. We wouldn't have got out of slavery fast, but that's not giving their asses a pass.
Well, these are definitely African American. I mean Americans. FBA are Americans, and they are very they're integrationists, and also more than that, they're assimilationists. So they probably won't be upset at you. Okay. The only smoke they got is for people that look like them. Yeah, for the most part.
Right.
And there's a little bit of smoke for other things, but sometimes that's just done just to say I did it. But nonetheless, I will say this, Baba. Can you in closing, could you also, because you named two inspirational figures and heroes of yours, and you didn't name one earlier, but you named too many white people here today. So you named Castro and now John Brown. Could you close out with at least five Black strong people?
Like I said, I'm a child of Malcolm X. I said that earlier too. Nat Turner definitely was my man.
Oh boy, Nat Turner.
Yeah, Nat Turner was one of the people I was looking for when they was downplaying us loving slavery. You know what I'm saying? And Harriet Tubman, of course. You know what I'm saying? So. James Baldwin, I must give him credit. Langston Hughes is another one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? Louis Armstrong.
Any revolutionaries? I know you just say you talked about Stephen Biko earlier.
Oh yeah,
you spoke about Dr. You spoke
now Stephen Biko. Man, I really was deep in Stephen Biko. I read that whole book of the trial that they had on Stephen Biko, and that made me feel even better how we as African American Black people, we are so fabulous that they always gonna try to come at us sideways with something because they know they're always trying to dim the brightness of us as a people, because we shine. We shine without even have to shine. You know, I see some
without trying to shine, right?
Without trying to shine. They show a sister walking in the street with her afro and just some normal clothes on, skin blacker than black, and she just looks so marvelous. What's the word? Give me a good word.
Gorgeous. but you're not talking about this AI blackness, right? Because
of course not. Okay. I know they got all that stuff, right? Yeah, yeah.
They got people with black.
Sudan.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Little dark brown black.
Yeah,
not
black,
this black.
Yeah, because they got blue black.
Okay, yeah.
And we seen something. We was in Africa, remember?
Absolutely. Yeah. Beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So,
and me and my son did go to Africa together, and that was one of our beautiful points too.
So, could you close out with your famous statement?
To know us is to love us.
When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back.
Generalized black woman is doing this and being this. That is that is irresponsible.
No, when you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back.
Showing me,
black and proud. Claim you're African, black and proud.
I think that
as a person who has a page,
what is the status of people with half FBA?
When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back.
That's why I was laughing, because I am
claim you're African.
I'm not saying the framework doesn't do a thing, but
become a part of it.
We've been
embrace
forward to black men
become a part of it.
Being in the control. We
become a part of it.
Only
embrace it.
That one of the best stories I've ever heard.
Embrace it. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind
that
back.
mental growth takes place. You've been misled by leadership, for instance, and thinking you can consume.
When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you,